What was your message to Jake after the game?
The message was obviously we got to win. Let's celebrate the win, celebrate the moment, be in the moment at the time. Obviously it was a hard-fought game, and just to see our team respond back from adversity. Having to score obviously at the end of the first half, at the end of the second half. There's times throughout the year where we faced adversity and we necessarily didn't respond. And to see the response of our team, and obviously this team is still growing, this team is still maturing, that was a positive. So at that moment after the game and still on, we want to try to build on the positives and focus in that direction.
Josh, I saw you were down on the field for the game on Saturday. Why did you decide to change that up, I guess?
Well, I felt like it would give me an opportunity to bring some poise to the sideline for the players, obviously, to be able to see in their eyes, get a feel for them throughout the game. Obviously, we had faced some tough adversity the week before with some turnovers, and really it was kind of a rallying moment of just being able to instill some confidence, being able to talk and get communication going on the sideline. When you're up in the box and you see adversity happen, you really feel like there's nothing you can do to help ease that moment. And so I thought it was important for me. They're constantly hearing my voice, they're constantly seeing my face in practice. To give them that reminder, things don't go well, we got to respond. And it was good to get back down to the field, and obviously as we move forward, we'll continue to make the best decisions there.
I was going to ask you, who was up in the box for you, obviously?
Actually, we moved Coach Ponce up, and then we moved another one of our graduate assistants as well.
And this week you're still undecided whether or not you'll be up?
Yeah, it's still, I like to say it made a difference, but it didn't, it was still a tough, hard-fought battle. And so, you're just trying, you're going through all the different things that you could possibly do to help, bring confidence and momentum to your team. And so, as I said, obviously, we still got to grow, we still got long ways to go. And we're just trying to build, each day to continue to build on what we're building.
For your quarterback, is it a tough toe line between being aggressive and limiting turnovers?
I think it is. I think especially after you're coming after a game where you've given up a high number of sacks, high number of turnovers, right? You want to be smart. And let me say this too, tremendous credit to our defense, because the confidence and faith that we have in our defense right now, and our defense's ability to go out there and play great football. We felt like last week you want to minimize as many risks and minimize as many turnovers as possible to be able to win that game. You can't win games, giving up sacks, can't win games, create turnovers. And so ultimately, as we hit down this final stretch, we've got to decide what's best for our team to win each and every week and put our team in position to win. And we did some things, obviously, when you're bringing in a new quarterback that, we wanted to keep him under poise. We wanted to not let the game get rattled in that situation and limit some of the mistakes that we were making.
Coach Ja'Cory Brown.
I'll answer both. Okay. So.
Ja'Cory Brown got some more plays. He actually threw a pass in this game. What can you say about his play, and what should we expect from him going forward?
Well, I think it's evident right now if you watch our team, right, Ja'Cory is probably one of our top playmakers on our team, right? Just positive plays continue to happen with him. He's probably one of the most dynamic runners we have. I don't know, he's our fastest player on offense right now at this point. And so, you got to find as many creative ways to use someone like that has the ability to keep the chains moving, bring positive plays. One of the things that he also does, right, he brings positive energy to our sideline. When you see Ja'Cory go in the game and you see him make plays, you see the energy, the excitement of our team increase. And so we need that. We need that desperately right now as a team. We need that desperately as an offense. And so he gives us an opportunity there, and obviously we'll continue to grow his package. Obviously teams are going to look at him a lot of different ways with the more they see him. But he's a quarterback for us. He's always been a quarterback. He's a quarterback. He will always remain a quarterback, and we've got to continue to use him in that fashion.
Coach, how much did TVD help Jake this past week, being there on the sideline?
Well, Tyler was definitely a good resource. Obviously continue to talk to Jake on the sideline in between series, talking through coverage, plays, reads, and everything. And then there was a lot that Tyler was also processing for himself, being able to see he was giving me great information. And I was talking constantly back with him, and ultimately, we continue to move forward in his rehab, and we look forward to preparing all those guys as we move forward.
Coach, so with Ja'Cory Brown, you dropped back to pass one time in that game. How have you seen him grow as a passer through his freshman season?
Well, that's the area where he wants to develop the most, as a complete passer. And, we've got faith in his development. We're going to continue to push him, continue to develop him because, you see all his physical traits, right? That's what makes him special. But he's also a very smart kid, being able to handle a lot. And right now, I'll tell you, we're putting a lot on his plate, a lot of different packages, a lot of different formations, a lot of different runs and passes. And he's going through that. And he goes through practice. He doesn't go through practice as a gimmick guy. He goes through practice as a quarterback. So he's making those throws. And unfortunately, obviously, he didn't have his best throw there on Saturday, but I've seen him complete that pass, 10 times throughout the week, and just kind of caught up in a nervous moment. And so, we're going to continue developing him as a quarterback completely in practice.
And then how important was it to plug Xavier Restrepo back into the offense?
Yeah, it was very important. He's been a key piece that's been missing out of our offense, and obviously we knew going into the game he was on the numbers count. Obviously we have a process in place where we want to try to get everyone caught up to being 100%, and he's not quite there yet, but we feel good about the process that he's taken. And so being able to get him back on the sideline, being able to get him back in the game obviously makes a critical play in a special situation in the game, and I think he only finished with 12 or so snaps in the game. But those 12 snaps are important. Build to his confidence, build to his conditioning, but then ultimately take the next step in his rehab process to get him back fully acclimated to our team.
Coach, I know you were talking about, or Mario was talking about, and you preparing all three quarterbacks possibly to play. We're talking about fine lines today, is there a fine line between preparing TBD and not having him overdo it with the injury?
I think there very is, and that's where we've got a tremendous medical staff that does a great job rehabbing our guys, getting them back to full speed. And one thing that you see with our medical staff, right, we're not going to take any shortcuts, right? We're going to make sure that everyone's healthy and prepared. And even guys like Xavier Restrepo, right? He was clawing at it to come back out there on the field 2 to 3 weeks ago, and it just wasn't the right time. And so we're always going to protect our players with the best interest of their health, always first and foremost. And we'll build off that. We've experienced a lot of different injuries on offense, and so the next man up approach is real. We've got to prepare everyone for their opportunity to try to help make an impact in the game.
Josh, you guys went heavy with Henry Parrish in this game. Just how do you sort of balance keeping his body healthy and for all that banging, and then sprinkling other guys?
Yeah, that's a great question because Henry ran extremely hard. I mean, that was probably one of the hardest games I've seen a running back run for a guy of his size and stature. Physical in between the tackles, running over second level and third level defenders. Just being able to get him back out there the last 2 weeks has injected our team with so much energy and confidence, especially what we were able to do last week, right? It's been a tough sled in the last few weeks running the football. And so to inject that confidence in our offensive line, in our running backs, that we can do that. And then Lucius Stanley coming in there, running the ball extremely hard, as well as Jakari. And so, we're going to always have to continue to find that production by group. I don't think one man can sit there and carry the ball 30 times a game. I think obviously you're putting them at risk in that situation. And then we got tremendous confidence in our other guys. We got to get our confidence back in Jalen Knight. We got to get him going in that and those guys. And so we're just going to continue to push. We got to work extremely hard throughout the week in practice. Got to prepare extremely hard. And then when we have the opportunities, we have to go out and execute at a high level in games. And I think that's been the whole key.
Just as a
Time
follow-up
for
to that.
2 more. Andy, one more.
With adding Jalen, obviously we had the fumble issues. Are they not practicing up to the level? I mean, do you just have more faith in Lucius and Henry right now, holding on to the football? It's kind of the decision making there.
Well, it's credit to both kids because we do have belief in Jalen and Thad, and they practice really hard. But you got to be able to carry that over to the games. And unfortunately, we face some adversity in games. Whether that's fumbles, whether that's making people miss in space, one-on-one opportunities, protection, all of those things. And so right now, we're just at that point in the season where you've got to start relying on consistency. And I think that's a very important piece to us because when you look at us offensively, that's the piece that's been missing. Consistency in players being available, consistency in execution, everything, and top down. And that falls on me. And we've got to just continue to build our players, continue to build them up, continue to get their confidence and trust in themselves and their abilities. That way they can go out on Saturday and execute at a high level. I think what what's happened to a little bit of our guys is they work so hard throughout the week that that moment comes on Saturday and they necessarily don't get that same opportunity, or maybe adversity strikes and they can't hang their heads on it, man. You know, fumbling obviously is part of the game. That's something that we want to eliminate. But we've got to find ways to correct those things and move forward and not allow them to happen again.
Hey Josh, last year went pretty perfectly for you, at least till the very, very end. And you come here and you're 2/3 of the way through the season now, and it's been anything but. It's been a wild ride, a roller coaster. I noticed at the end of the game last, you released a little emotion and ran down to the end zone and were part of the celebration and all that. Talk a little bit about what, you know, how your head is and what this season has been like for you and going through those different experiences.
You know, I think every year is different, and we ultimately all chose to be here for a reason, to make an impact. And, you know, do we wish that impact obviously could be a lot sooner or faster than what we wish it would take? Yes, but we've all been around turnarounds. I've been around multiple different turnarounds, from being a new staff taking over a Vanderbilt program that was at pretty much the bottom of the SEC and being able to win there, and being able to be a part of a staff that took over a struggling Penn State program and being able to have success there. And so this is no different than any other challenges that I've been a part of in my career. Got tremendous faith in the coaches and Coach Cristobal and the vision that he has for this program. And we all came here together to make an impact. And you know, although we all came from very successful programs, and you look across the board, everyone was having success. You know, we're in the moment now, you know, and you know, things haven't necessarily gone our way, whether it's injuries or wins, losses, certain things, but we've got to have tremendous confidence in who we are as a staff, tremendous confidence in our players, and we have the right program to move forward. And you know, Coach has laid out the guidelines of what he wants, the process of what it takes, and we've got to stay committed to that process each and every day. We've got to recruit at a very, very high level. We've got to develop at a very, very high level. And we've got to continue to create a process of confidence for our players, and also just being able to, the philosophy of our program, being able to drill that home to them. And so we're going to continue to work at it. You know, it's been a tough year, it's been a challenging year. It's not over. We still got a lot to play for, a lot to look forward to, and it starts this week with a big rivalry.
How does Khalil Brantley's
Last one from Darryl.
physicality from the tight end position help the offense?
Tremendous. Ton of credit to Khalil Brantley, what he was able to go in and do, and you know, one of the things that Khalil has done is he's had to take on a little bit of the dirty work at the tight end position. You know, obviously being down Elijah at that role, and obviously Will's had some injuries along the way. But if you saw the physical impact that Khalil brought to the game on Saturday, he did a tremendous job. I think that team that Virginia had some really talented defensive ends, and when you look at them nationally, they're in the top 15 in sacks. His impact in the run game affected those guys' ability to rush the passer. He had multiple knockdowns where they were game changing. I mean, went back, showed our offensive unit those plays, and that's how you create a mindset. You know, that's how you create belief. And what Khalil did is he created a role and opportunities for him moving forward. You know, he's got to continue to obviously prepare and practice at a very high level, but he will be rewarded. You know, and we want all of our guys to buy into what we're asking them to do and do it at a very high level. And he brought tremendous energy to our team.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Coach Steele and Albert.